So today I want to share with you a tiny life experiment, a tiny little habit that when you practice it, it's going to enable you to be more productive using the same effort that you're already putting into tackling the tasks that you have to do. As a matter of fact, it may require less effort. And it's all about the sequence in which you do things. And I call this the roller coaster effect. And I'm going to discuss what it is, why it works, and how to use it. So first of all, what is the roller coaster effect? As you see there, it means that you want to begin your day doing the most important and challenging task. Avoid starting with easy tasks. So look at your task list at the beginning of the day and you think, what is the most time-consuming, challenging, energy-consuming, maybe task that I dread doing, which it usually is, and do that task first before anything else, before checking your email, before checking social media, before checking the news, before petting the dog. Well, maybe you could pet the dog, but before watering the plants, those are insignificant minor tasks. Don't start your day doing those things. Do something huge and significant first. Why? Well, as it mentions there, tackling the hardest task first builds momentum like conquering the biggest hill on a roller coaster. So if you look at a roller coaster, you'll notice, especially these old school roller coasters, they're built with a huge hill at the beginning, and then they have a bunch of tiny minor hills, smaller hills at the end of the ride. And if you've ever ridden one of these roller coasters, you know that that first hill is the most time-consuming, unfun, boring part of the ride. You know, you clack, 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 clack. You're just going over it slowly, and it requires the most time and energy to get over that first hill, that first big hill. But once you've gotten over that first hill, what happens? Well, you start going down that hill, and momentum picks up, and you start going over those smaller hills based on momentum. Momentum carries you over those smaller hills without any real extra effort whatsoever. And it's the same thing with your day. When you tackle that biggest task first, and the one that is going to require a lot of time and energy, maybe an hour or two, then after you complete that, you're going to have momentum that's going to carry you over the remaining smaller tasks. And you're going to be able to get those done with less effort and greater efficiency and quicker. And it's really amazing how this works. And as it mentions there, that momentum makes the rest of the day smoother and more productive. And that's what it is. You don't have to put in more energy to get things done. Momentum takes over. Now, it also highlights, this is another reason why you want to do this, and that is that starting with less important tasks leads to procrastination and a lack of energy for the bigger tasks later. So let's hop on that roller coaster and ride it backwards. Let's go over the first hill and the second tiny hill and the third tiny hill and get to that big hill, and guess what's going to happen if you've gone over the small hills first? You're going to get to that big hill and you're going to think, oh my goodness, this is too huge. I don't have any energy. I've just gone over these small hills. I have no momentum, nothing. And you get to that big hill and you think, well, it's time to turn around and go back to the start. And that happens in your day as well. When you're doing smaller tasks first, you're not building up any momentum. And so that when you get to that big task at the end of the day where you've been putting it off, you're going to look at it and you're going to think, I just don't have the energy for this. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. And it gets put off and you start the process again tomorrow. That's why it's so important to do big tasks first at the beginning of your day. Now, how can you do this? We've talked a little bit about this. Identify the most important and challenging task, and then do it first before checking email, news, social media, anything like that. What is the task that you dread doing or that's going to take energy? Do that one first. Now, there is a roadblock to doing this. As highlighted here, the temptation to do an easy task first. That's the roadblock. That's what we want to do. That's what we're inclined to do. So how can you get past that? Very simply. Clearly identify the hardest task the day before and commit to doing it first. So don't necessarily start your day by thinking, okay, this is the task, the biggest task I have to take care of, and I'm going to do that today. Because that's going to, you're going to have a lot less motivation if you figure out instead to do the biggest task in the evening before or the day before. That way you know clearly in advance what to expect, and you're preparing your mind and your emotions and your energy to tackle that biggest task a day before. That's going to help you to overcome that barrier of taking action. So I hope you find this idea useful, the roller coaster effect. And if you do, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a comment below explaining how you're using it, the results that you're getting. And please like and share this video. I'd appreciate that as well. And I hope you have an amazing day.